Do you know what the most frequently asked question in Synchron interviews are? If not, then you must watch this video. Hey guys, welcome back to Engineers Tech Hub channel. So in this video, we will share Synchron interview question and answer for 6 years of experience. Okay, so let's move in the first question. The first question they have asked: explain about your framework. So I'm just going to explain the BBD framework. Might be you did not use BBD framework. Okay, so you can explain your framework, right? Suppose you are using TestNG, page object model and data driven. So explain your framework. If you use BBD, but I will recommend you to learn the BBD as well, because mostly projects are there in the BBD, okay, format. Understood, right? So I'm going to explain you the BBD framework. So if you will go for your project structure in the framework, right? So some of the very common components are there. Like we have a package for feature package. In the feature package, we are maintaining all the features file. So in the features file, right, in the one features file, we have a multiple scenario. Then you are designing the scenario as per your requirement. Are you using background? Are you using scenario outline? Are you using scenario, or are you using the data table concept, right? So it totally depend upon your what type of the requirement we have, right? So one component is your features file, right? So then we can also, if once you will create a features file, then we have a step definition, right? So we can have a one package where maintaining all the step definitions, right? So in the step we can, so once we will create the features file, we can create a step definition, right? So we will maintain. So inside this step definition, we are calling all the methods, right, as per your test cases scenario. Understood, right? So guys, some general components are there. Like we have a Selenium WebDriver. Like we are doing some activity, I can say we have a Selenium utility. Like we have an action class, or we have a drop down, or we have a alert, right? So we are just creating one of the common classes where we are going to write all this. Like I can say the utility classes. Then test execution. Okay, so we are performing all this action. Okay, then one of the most important component is there, your page object model as well, right? So if you are using the by class or page factory, it depends upon your how your framework we have, right? So this is the just one image of the framework. Apart from that, we have a test data file. So we are going to maintain all the test data. So your test data is dynamic, your test data is static, right? Are you reading the data from Excel sheet, CSV file, JSON file? It totally depends upon how the requirement it is, right? So we have another component to maintaining the data driven approach. So we are maintaining the data, how you are maintaining the data, right? Utilities, right? So I told you, right, in the utility, again we have a divided. Suppose we have a utility for Selenium, I can say Selenium component, right? Like Selenium interface we have, right? We have a classes, or we have a different types of the utility classes. Suppose you have developed this utility classes reading the data from your Excel sheet, or here we have a something capturing the screenshot, logging. So suppose if you want to create another package, that is fine. Data driven data, we have a separate package where maintaining all utilities. We are capturing the screenshot, logging, reporting, right? We can maintain in test runner class is one of the another component. So in my framework, I have used, you can use TestNG or JUnit, but in my framework I have used TestNG, where you can do the parameterization and parallel execution. Reporting is one of the most important part in your framework, right? So I just mentioned here Cucumber report. So we have a default Cucumber report is there, but you can use here extend report as well. So these are the major component of your framework. Okay, and just we have to do the practice also, right? So in my YouTube channel, we don't have a tutorial, but you will get many tutorial for developing the framework. But we can plan it. If you are interested, I will also plan to some framework tutorial as well. Okay, Next question they have asked, what is the page factory? So page factory is a class. Again, this is coming from Selenium library. Page factory is a class and init elements is your method. So by using this page factory and init elements, we can initialize our elements. Okay, so when you are creating the page object model, right? So every classes we have a specific pages, and using the find by we are defining our locators, right? And using this page factory, it will initialize this. Understood, right? And you can see how we can define this. So this is how you can initialize this page factory. Okay, you can see if you are creating any classes, then you have to define the driver and elements, right? So page factory dot init elements, and we are passing a driver and this keyword. Okay, so this is how you can define, and someone will ask you, then you have a complete. I will show you the complete snapshot of the page object model as well, right? So suppose you have a 7 pages in your application, then how to achieve the page object model? So you have a simple answer, right? So if you have a 100 pages also, right, we can follow our page object concept, right, and page factory concept, right? So okay, so each pages we can create a one separate class, and we can define elements like this. Okay, so every pages, and just you will get, definitely if you are preparing for the interview, this will helpful for you, and you should have this, right, knowledge, hands-on practice. So you're not doing the practical, just took the snapshot, right? You can create a, see, we have a login page created and defining all this elements, and we are defining the constructor. So first steps, define all the elements. Second steps, you can define the constructor, and third steps, as per the step wise, right, we can, as per the step wise, we can create a methods like this. So you can see I have created a method for login. Suppose you have to create a method for some adding the card, right? Or you have to create a method for you are validating product is added in the cart or not, right? So you will get many scenario in your real time project. So you have to create a page object as per your requirement, but the process are same, nothing will change. If you have a 7 class or 70, sorry, if you have a 7 pages or 70 pages, concept are same. Hope you understand. Okay, so now we can move in your next question. One second. So next question they have asked, have you used interface in your framework other than Selenium interfaces? So I'll just brief about this questions. The question is, have you used your own interface, not a Selenium interface? Okay, so if Selenium is a library and we have a many interfaces inside this Selenium, so they are asking the question, have you used your own interfaces? Many of the scenario, we can use our own interfaces. Before that, first of all, you have to understand what is interface, right? Then if you understand, then requirement will come, then you will definitely understand where you have to implement. So simple interface, we are defining a set of operation. So WebDriver is Selenium interface. Just I will give you some example. So in the WebDriver, we are defining a set of operation, right? So we have a get, we have a close, or many others method, find element, find elements. These all the methods are the set of operation for WebDriver. But if you want to execute get method for Chrome browser, if you want to execute your test cases for Edge browser, right? So method name is get, but we are providing the different implementation for all the browsers. Hope you are understanding. So if you will get some requirement like this, right, we can also create our own interface. So I'll just give you some notes regarding this. Yes, interface can be used in the test automation framework beyond the just Selenium interface. Here are some of the scenario where you might have your custom interface. Defining the common behavior across the different implementation. if you have a different component or modules in your application, suppose, and it's common behavior, but you can define the interface those behavior, and this allow you ensure that each component implements the required method. Suppose I can give you one simple example for test reader, right? So some of the test cases, suppose we have to validate the CSV file. So we have some scenario to read the data from the CSV file. Some of the test cases you have a read the data from the Excel, but what the activity you are doing, you are reading the data. So here I can say test data reader is your interface, reading is your set of operation, but we are defining a different set of, we are implementing the different set of I can say different features, not set of different features, right? So what the reader will do when I will implement in the reader, we have a different types of the implementation, because we have a Excel is your different class, CSV is your different class, right? So I can write Excel reader implementation inside your Excel class, and I can write CSV implementation in the CSV class. Understood, right? So if you don't know the interface, you will not understand. Okay, so you have to know the interface, and first of all, guys, you have a good in the Java concept. Otherwise, it will create a problem for you. If you guys are not good in the Java, it's a very difficult to understand the core part of concept, not only basics. The company is looking for you should have a very good knowledge in the core part of the concept. Understood, right? So if you know the things, the people know the interface, it's a very easy. If you don't know, it will create a many scenario, like we have a one of the scenario for login, logging. We log the when you are executing the code, so we are doing some logging feature, right? So we are also implement the same concept or same. So many example we have, but I can't so I have given the one of them. You will get many others like set driver. Okay, so you can, I have also shown you, right? You can also define driver, your own driver, right? So when you are doing the parallel execution, right? So I can provide the different implementation for others driver, right? So we can also implement like that. So it totally depend upon how and what is your requirement in your project. Okay, so just in the last I can say brush up your Java, then easily you can answer this type of the question. Next question they have asked, what are the Selenium interfaces, right? WebDriver, web element, search context is your super interface of WebDriver. If you will go inside this Selenium library, then you will get it. Then we have a JavaScript executor. We have huge JavaScript for many things, for I can say usage of the JavaScript executor, right? So now we have a take a screenshot as an alert pop-up. So these are the frequent usage of this interface we are using in our current project. Okay guys, so that's all in this video. So this is the part 1, and part 2 I will upload soon. So please subscribe my channel and press bell icon if you are new in the channel, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.